Good evening, everyone in chambers and online. We're going to call to order the October 10th, 2023 Daytona Beach Shores Commissioner meeting. Sherry, can you take a roll, please?
Mayor Miller?
Here.
Vice Mayor Plitus?
Here.
Commissioner Bryan?
Here.
Commissioner Thomas?
Here.
Commissioner Lindo?
Here.
Thank you. Okay, this evening, before we have Reverend Melissa Francis, I had some very sad news to report. So a longtime council member, was council at that time, passed away this weekend, Jenny Chalona. Want to tell you a little bit about her, if some of you didn't know. She served from 2001 to 2010 on the council. In the years of 2007 and 2010, she was the vice mayor. She was reappointed in 2011 through 2016 as a commissioner. She was on the Culture and Entertainment Board 2010 to 2011, and while she was on the council, she was the unofficial elected official liaison. So we mourn her death. She was very, very important to the city. She did a lot for this city. Can I just ask you to share a moment of silence with me for Miss Chalona? Thank you. Chalona. Thank you very much. Later on in our meeting today, our city manager will be talking to us about an event that was going to be held at the community center on October 20th with the approval of the commission. So we'll discuss it a little bit more at that time. So Reverend Melissa, can you come up this evening?
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Let's pray. Loving Creator, we come before you tonight with heavy hearts as we watch the news unfold. We pray for our sisters and brothers in Israel and in Palestine, as well as for the leaders of the world. We pray for your wisdom, for your guidance, and we ask especially for your comfort for those who are grieving tremendous loss. Even as chaos erupts across the globe, we come together tonight here to conduct the business of our city. And I thank you for each person gathered in this room and for those joining us online. I pray for these servant leaders who are standing before me, and I pray that for their families as well. Each day that they serve, we ask you to give them wisdom rather than a thirst for power. May you give them thick skins when inevitable criticism, fair or not, comes their way. May you remind them each day of the privilege and honor it is to serve in the roles they serve and to serve this community. May you renew the servant hearts of our mayor and the commission, that they will always seek to serve the least, the lost, and the left out among us. And may they show courage to lead your city in bold and new ways. Grant them peace in their lives and joy in their service to others. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Feel like it's a real blessing this evening to be an American. I'm sure everyone else joins me with that.
Absolutely.
Okay, we do not have any presentations this evening, so we are going to move right into approval of the minutes. So this would be the City Commission minutes of September 26, 2023. Do I have an approval for those minutes? A motion, please.
I'll so move.
I'll second.
Thank you. Any discussion on any of those minutes? Any hearing none? Sherry, can you take a roll, please?
Yes, ma'am. Commissioner Lindo?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Plitus?
Yes.
Commissioner Bryan?
Yes.
Commissioner Thomas?
Yes.
Mayor Miller?
Yes, thank you. Okay, on our consent agenda this evening, we have 3 items. Are there any items that we need to pull before I ask for a motion? Okay, if not, do I have a motion to accept all 3 items?
I move we approve the consent agenda.
Thank
I'll
you.
second.
All right, any discussion on any of the items?
Item number C, I didn't have a chance to print that.
Piggyback Services contract by the City of Tallahassee for vehicle purchase. I didn't know if maybe the city manager could tell me what it was.
They have a pretty good contract price, and we're just trying to use their contract to buy new vehicles.
Ah, okay.
And it's
Okay.
not mutually exclusive either, so we can go somewhere else too, so
Thank you.
pretty good deal.
Thank you.
Sorry about that.
Any other discussion? No, Sherry, can you take a roll on that, please?
Yes, ma'am. Commissioner Bryan,
Yes.
Commissioner Conlon,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Gladys,
Yes.
Commissioner Lindauer,
Yes.
Mayor Miller.
Yes, thank you. We have no old business this evening, so this, next on new business, we have Resolution 2023-16. This would be our elected officials' education training policy, and I believe Attorney Vos read that for us. Attorney Waters, can you read it for us, please?
Absolutely, Madam Mayor. Would you like me to read the whole ordinance or
Yes,
just the
please.
title? Okay, this is resolution number 2023-16. Excuse me, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Daytona Beach Shores adopting an educational training expense policy for elected officials, providing for severability, providing for an effective date. Whereas it is important for elected officials of the city to participate in educational training activities that better prepare them to fulfill their elected duties as public officials of the city. And whereas there are certain expenses sometimes involved in educational training activities, including but not limited to tuition and material expenses that should be paid for by the city to the benefits resulting to the city from such activities, and whereas the City of Daytona Beach Shores and its citizens benefit by having a fiscal, responsible, and ethical educational training activities policy for elected officials, and whereas this resolution establishes an educational training activities policy for elected officials that provides for the expenses of such activities. And whereas it is the intent of this policy that expenses under this policy are in addition to expenses paid under the city's travel policy and are in addition to expenses otherwise provided for attendance at events that include educational elements such as but not limited to League of City events, and whereas the city's educational training activities policies for elected officials is now presented to the City Commission for formal adoption.
I think that's enough there. Thank you, Attorney Waters. I didn't mean to have you read all the rest of that, but this was something we had discussed last time, and we had given Attorney Vos direction to write this resolution. So do I have a motion to accept 2023-16?
I so move.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion on the policy? Okay, hearing none. Can I take a vote, please, Sherry?
Yes, ma'am. Vice Mayor Gladys,
Yes.
Commissioner Bryan,
Yes.
Commissioner Conlon,
Yes.
Commissioner Lindauer,
Yes.
Mayor Miller.
Yes, thank you. Okay, next we'll go on to the social media policy. Attorney Waters, were you going to expand on this, or is this our city manager?
Kurt, would you
can.
like to give the background?
Yes, I can.
Thank you.
So, a couple months back, Becky Vos recommended that we update our social media policy. And so you have that update before you tonight. It was rather outdated, and we'll probably have to keep updating this as social media keeps changing and progressing. But this is our effort for current policies.
Thank you, and I trust everyone has read it. So now I would like, do we hear a motion to adopt the social media policy as presented?
I will so move.
Thank you. Second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Any questions on this social media policy or any discussion? Okay, hearing none. Sherry, can you take a roll, please?
Commissioner Conlon,
Yes.
Commissioner Lindauer,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Gladys,
Yes.
Commissioner Bryan,
Yes.
Mayor Miller.
Yes, thank you. Okay, next we'll go on to item C. This is the consideration to start the October 24th, 23 City Commission meeting at 7 p.m. We had a workshop before we came in here this evening, and our city manager alluded to it. We will be having a delegation meeting, takes place every year, that will probably have 4 or 5 of our senators or representatives there. Previously, this meeting was in the morning, so we were still able to come to city council, city commission. That day, it's 3 to 6, and it's DeLand. We don't know when we'll be on the agenda. My city manager and I will be speaking on behalf of Daytona Beach Shores. So wanted to change that meeting to 7 p.m. to ensure that we will be here on time. So do I need a vote on this or just a consensus, Attorney Waters?
Just a consensus would be fine, Madam Mayor.
All right, so Commissioner Bryan?
Fine with me.
Thank you. Commissioner
fine.
Wendell? Thank you. Vice Mayor?
As long as Mr. George will stay open late for us, I'm good.
Don't worry, what,
Yeah, I'm okay with it. yeah.
Okay, so we are okay on that. So again, Sherry, you'll do a public notice and we'll put it as much as we can that it's 7 p.m. So, all right, thank you. Next, we're gonna go on. City Attorney, do you have any comments for us this evening?
None other than thank you for stopping me from reading the ordinance. We would have still been reading the resolution.
Well, yes, yes.
Every city does it a little different,
Okay,
but
great.
thank you for stopping me.
Okay, you're welcome.
That is my report. Thank you.
City Manager, what do you have for us this evening?
Good evening again, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners. As the Mayor alluded to, I'd like to ask the Commission, we've been approached by a couple of citizens to allow them to use the upstairs on October 20th for a, I don't know if we're calling it a memorial service.
Celebration of life.
Celebration of life for Jenny Chalona. We normally, there's a fee for that, and we've waived it in the past for we did it recently for a long-time lieutenant from the city, and I would like to request tonight that based on her excellent service to the city, that we go ahead and waive that fee and allow that event to happen October 20th from 5 to 7.
And I absolutely agree with that for her years of service. Is anyone else that doesn't agree to that?
Do we need a vote or consensus?
I think a consensus
Consensus will be-
that we're going to
It's
waive
fine,
the fee.
fine with me.
I'm fine with it.
Okay,
I would
great.
agree to waive that.
Okay, and so we will report back to the person that asked us about using it. So again, it'll just be that evening, just people getting together that worked with Jenny, that knew her. They're just going to ask you to come up and say a couple words. So that is open to anybody in the Shores. So please attend and pay respects to her family. Thank you. Okay, what else do you have for us?
A few things. Just want to let you know that if you're on our website, you may see a little bit of a change. We've implemented a software product called Just FOIA. FOIA is Freedom of Information Act, but really what it is a public records request platform. So in the past, we just had to keep track of your emails and everything. Now when public records come into the city, a records request, it goes, we put it in the system and it's tracked, and it automatically responds acknowledging receipt of their request and tells them the time frames of which will respond. And once complete, all those requests will also be public record and searchable. So it's a pretty neat product. Rather than, say, for example, most of the requests were going through Sherry, she was having to sit and remember, marking this email as needing to be responded to, and the system does it for us at a pretty minimal cost. And we implemented that last week, and so far it seems to be working pretty well for us.
Are you still talking about that? I had a question
Yeah,
on
just
that.
FOIA, yes.
Okay. So on that, I know public request can be anonymous. So if the person has said, I want this to be anonymous, but there's no more anonymity?
No, they can still get it handed to them. We can still handle that process, but it'll show as an anonymous request. So if they want to come in and pick it up, it'll say in there how it was handled and what their record was, but they still remain anonymous.
Okay. What about if it was emailed to them?
Then the email goes in. They already made their email public record by emailing us, so the email goes in there.
I think that's fantastic. I'm so glad that we're implementing this.
I think it's going to help both public safety and our clerk properly manage those things. I had a discussion today, if anybody has heard rumors, we're hearing rumors about a possible Trucktoberfest. The chief is ready to staff up a little bit. We're not going crazy like we've done in the past, bringing in outside resources at this point. It's just rumors and some Facebook stuff, but we're just to let you know, we're aware that there may be something and we're prepared.
Well, we're having, so Bike Fest, or whatever you call it, is like the 19th.
Oktoberfest.
Yeah, 19th to the 22nd. Is this the same dates, Chief, or is this different dates for that?
No, ma'am, this is this weekend.
Oh.
The only confirmed event is in DeLand at OB's, and it's the same thing that they did in the summer. You notice that we had a dramatic reduction in the number of trucks that showed up. The organizer is guaranteeing us that he's not promoting this as an out-of-control event. We won't declare a special event zone. There's some other events going on this weekend, including BCU's homecoming, so we don't want to put up a special event zone when it would conflict with an event that's actually sanctioned.
Okay, great, thank you.
Moving on to other things. A while back, the mayor and I had a meeting with some folks from the tennis community, and they proposed something, and my staff took the idea and ran with it. We are installing, and hopefully by Thursday or Friday, they'll be completely in. We're putting in 3 AEDs out in the communities in places where we have a lot of activity going. The tennis courts is getting one, the pickleball courts are getting one, and then at the restrooms at McElroy Park is getting one as well, because we have all the events there. So they're not just hanging on the wall, they're in special boxes. I'm hoping they never have to be used, but like the tennis courts, for example, we have one in this building, but this building closes at certain hours when they're still playing tennis. So we're going to give it a shot and see how those work. Like I said, hopefully we never have to use them, but we were able to do that for our citizens in the event they are needed. So the last thing I'd like to talk to the commission about is typically in November and December, we cancel the second meeting of each of those months because of Thanksgiving and Christmas. We'd like to know if it's the desire of the commission to do that again, as we typically do.
Mr. Bryan?
That's fine with me.
Commissioner
Fine with
Wendell?
me.
Okay. Vice Mayor?
As long as it doesn't conflict with what we're gonna do with the proposal from the city of Port Orange.
If right now it should.
Okay, then I'm okay with that.
I'm okay as
All
well.
right, great, and I am as well. Okay, thank you. Anything else?
And that's it, Madam
All
Mayor.
right, thank you. Okay, well, it was a short agenda. So I'll go on to council comments. Vice Mayor, what do you have for us this evening?
I went to my TPA meeting. I'm telling you, I'm just like a silly fool.
I've heard-
So anyway, I'm telling you, very astute people and the FDOT representatives are all spot on. When we were complaining and the chief had shown us the video of the crosswalk, and I have been a big complainer about the inconsistency and how people, it's hard for them to figure out whether you stop or you don't. There's a entity called Best Foot Forward, and the executive director is Emily Hanna, and she already is involved in Orange, Seminole, and Osceola County. She's coming into Volusia, and she has already complained to and will advocate to the FDOT to make that video become reality at every crosswalk. And for those that didn't see the video, there's lights in the ground that light up. You press the button, there's lights on the side. There are spotlights that illuminate the crosswalk. I mean, it's lit up like a Christmas tree to increase the likelihood that a car driver will stop and yield to the pedestrian, thereby reducing the deaths and the injuries that occur. DOT has a program called Target Zero, and that is in conjunction with that, where zero means we don't want anyone to pass away as a result of a traffic episode. Flagler County is in the transportation planning organization, but only part of them. They agreed to bring all of them in to just make it simple rather than try and piecemeal it. And so they're coming in and talking about changing the board from 20 to 21 or 22. But all in all, once again, it was pretty smooth. They are still tweaking the designs for Nova Road and the sidewalks in front of the Trail Shopping Plaza, where they're really going to put a median in there with trees and landscaping and really slow it down and make it more of a walking area. And then the other item is, I ran into Mayor Bill Partington the other night, and he looked at me and winked and said, "Thank you for your city's support with this Belvedere terminals."
Yes.
So it's still, they're still having issues over there, but the momentum is for them not to establish and construct these terminals. So we hope the best for our neighbors.
And I had a conversation with him, and he was quite impressed that he got 16 resolutions from all 16 cities in Volusia County supporting him.
Well, that's strong.
And that's what we're about. We're about supporting, our fellow citizens and cities because they did that to us. So, thank you so much.
Welcome.
You seem, and I heard good reports about you being on that committee. Checking up.
Really?
I do.
Well, I did have a speaking part the last time I was there. Usually I keep my mouth shut, but I put in my 2 cents when I can.
Okay. Commissioner Economist?
I have no comments.
Okay, thank you. I'll go next. I have a couple things. So effective last week, we started a Mayor's Fitness Challenge. Thank you very much, Director Maddox, for helping us implement that. It is a great program. It's a little bit different than other cities have. Other cities has more of a weight loss challenge. Knowing our demographics, that's not what Nancy and I were interested in. We're interested in getting our residents healthy, like get up, get moving. So Nancy has done a wonderful program, a variety of exercises, sitter-size, yoga, ballroom dancing. So yesterday, her and I had about 10 people with us, and we walked a mile. We'll be doing that every Monday at 8:30. Last night, we had intro to pickleball, but the mayor was the only intro person. Everybody else there was an expert. So, but anyway, we had that. And it's just really a great, great program. I'm so happy. This is the first year we had it, so we're just seeing what works, what doesn't work. We plan on this being an annual event. And unlike other cities, we're offering this free to our residents because our goal is to get up, get going, and get healthy. Want to talk about an advance notice. October 28th will be our food trucks, and make sure you mark your calendar. They're normally on Friday nights. This one will be on a Saturday. Starts at 4:30, and Halloween costumes are strongly urged, but you do not have to, so we're having that. The next thing is tomorrow is Coffee with the Mayor, so that's at 10 o'clock upstairs. And for any of you that haven't been to Coffee with the Mayor, come on out. Again, we make jokes about this, but Port Orange and South Daytona usually get about 5 to 10 people. We average between 100 and 150 people out there, and they love it because they get the information they need, full transparency. We have speakers like Sheriff Chitwood last month, and tomorrow we're going to have Jessica Fentress from our coastal division. So she's going to give us an update on what's happening on the beach, how some of the money's going to be spent that we got. So again, just a very, very informative time. We've grown it probably from about 10 people up to 100, 150. So come on out. And that is all I have for this evening. Did I forget anything? No. Nancy? No. Okay, thank you. Commissioner Lindau?
Nothing.
Commissioner Ryan?
I'd like to thank you for stopping Paul as well.
Okay, that was my fault when he said just, I'm going to take, because you asked me just the top and I said no. So I'm going to take responsibility for that. Okay, thank you so much. I don't have any forms for audience comments, but as I always do, is there anyone that wants to speak that did not fill out a form? Okay, if not, what items do we have for next agenda? I know we'll be talking about the Port Orange water sewer. Anything else that we need to add to that agenda? Okay, as a reminder, again, remember that will start at 7 p.m. and that's the time the meetings used to start, I think, at 7 p.m. So everybody stay awake for that one. If there's nothing else, then thank you very much for attending, and the